Welcome to the Jill on Money podcast. It is Wednesday, March 24th, and we are here trying to take the mystery out of your financial lives. The easiest way to get in touch with us is to send an email. Ask Jill at jillonmoney.com. If you are on our website, jillonmoney.com, get it? It's so easy. All you have to do is click the contact button and be sure to tell us if you are willing to come on the program because why? It's better. It's more fun. And if you're nervous, then you can change your name. We'll protect the innocent. Don't worry. But the most important thing is that we want to field these questions from you. We know a lot of people need help. We are really focused on you and what your needs are. So send us an email, hit that contact button, get on the air with us. Mark and I are both certified financial planners. We are here to help you and help you navigate these crazy times. So today we are joined by April. April is on the line from Chicago. So middle of the country, places where people are just dying to have spring. Welcome to spring. April, it all makes sense to me. How are you? What can we do for you?
Good morning, Jill. Thank you for taking this question here. My husband and I have an extra $1,500 a month, and the bottom line is, where should it go? We are both 50 with a household income of about $325,000. I do have one son with a 529 plan that will cover the remaining years of his education.
Fantastic.
I have another son who has special needs, and we do have a special needs trust funded by a life insurance policy for his expenses upon our death. We have a mortgage of about $300,000 with a 3.2% rate over 30 years. And this is where my husband wants the extra money to go.
Oh, he's such a wimp. How much is the house worth?
It's about $450,000.
Okay.
Yeah, so we also have 2 car loans totaling about $45,000. Both are with 0% financing. But this is where I want the extra money to go.
Oh, you're a wimp also. Okay, let's keep going.
So we don't have any other debt. We have about 7 months of living expenses in cash and looking to just get maybe 2 more months in there just for extra buffer. So looking at some of our savings, our retirement account, my husband's IRA is about $550,000. Mine is about $160,000. We're contributing about a combined total of about $1,000 a month, equally split between those IRAs. And my husband's 401k is about $150,000. Mine is $180,000. And we are each contributing the full annual catch-up amount of $26,000. When we both turned 50 last year.
All right. What about non-retirement accounts? Any other money that's socked aside?
No.
Why don't you have more money in your 401ks? What's going on here?
I will say probably like 10 years into my working career, which is about almost 30 years now, I did have to take a withdrawal on my 401k. So I lost a bit of time there.
Okay. Here's the good news, really. You're both wrong. You're not going to do either of those things. You're not paying you're not paying off a 0% loan. That's number one. Okay. That's just not happening. You're not paying off a 3.2% loan either. Forget about it. There's no way. We need to beef up your total savings. So what I'm interested in is that you're putting money into your IRAs. Are these non-deductible IRAs? Because it seems to me that you make too much money for anything other than that, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So here's what you're doing. You're maxing out your 401ks. You're maxing out a non-deductible IRA. Your next thing is you're going to open a brokerage account. First, you're going to make sure you've got a little bit more in your emergency reserve fund. So get that, like you said, a couple more months, fine. Then you are going to start very diligently putting your money away into that brokerage account, just the way you did it with your 529 plan. You made it a habit, right? That's how the money gets in there.
Yes.
And you're going to do this as well with your brokerage account. You're going to be careful about the way you invest it because unlike your retirement accounts, you will have taxable income that flows out of this. That's not a problem. What I am very clear about is you are not paying down a 0% loan and you are not paying down a 3.2% loan. We need you guys to have liquidity. Are you guys happy in your jobs and your careers?
We are, yes.
Okay. So you're planning to work, for a while. So that's good. And so we need 15 good years to like sock more money away and get this retirement plan going. And thank goodness you like your jobs because it is a time where you really need to focus on, you got the kids pretty much done and managed. You need to make sure that you get that money to work for yourselves. That's it. It's easy peasy. Tell me a little bit about how are you managing the allocation of the retirement accounts? Like, are you managing this yourself?
No, so we do have our accounts with Morgan Stanley. And so we're working with an individual in that capacity. And I
Hmm.
think we're roughly about a 70/30, 70 being in the stocks.
Okay. How do you pay this man or woman person?
So that's interesting. This is where I still need to learn a little bit more. But when I looked at our account, my husband's IRA is subject to a $350 monthly service fee, and mine is 110. He does help with some other decisions as well.
Like what? Tell me like what?
Well, let's say my husband's former employer, he had a little pension with, and we received that notice of the option of getting a full payout at this time or leaving it in a risky kind of environment. And
Hmm.
so this person advised us to kind of go ahead and just kind of cash it out and transfer it into our Morgan Stanley account.
Mm.
I do question the fees, and I need to figure out, how those fees are assessed and
Well, let's
lowering
just think
those.
about this. Maybe it's a percentage of assets, right? And so I'm just looking at this. So your IRA, his is 550 and
Correct.
yours is 160. So it looks like about a 1% fee that you're being charged for the retirement accounts.
Yes,
Let me ask a couple other questions. Did this person do a financial plan for you?
he did. Yes.
Is this person have a designation? Is it a CFP or is it just a straight up broker?
That's funny. That's my other question for you because when I looked him up after learning more from your book and podcast, I saw that he's a CMT and a CPM.
Okay.
And I see, neither is the CFP or the CFA. And so
Right.
I was even questioning whether his advice was appropriate for individuals,
Mm.
versus, other focus areas.
So I just want to point this out to some folks out there because there's a lot of it is like an alphabet soup when it comes to advisors and designations. Chartered market technician, which by the way, I had never heard of and neither did Mark. Here's what it takes. It's 3 years of professional analytical or investment management experience, a member of this thing called the Market Technicians Association, which sounds like, baloney, and then 3 multiple choice tests. Okay, so then let me look up CPM. This is called a chartered portfolio manager. 3 years experience, same thing, kind of, right? I mean, it's a designation. It's not an accredited designation. So I would just call it, it's like he took some tests and he's into it, but he's not a fiduciary. So let's start with that. So there's no fiduciary obligation there. So I don't know. He could be a great guy and he could be really smart. I don't necessarily understand if the advice he's giving you is in your best interest. It's worth asking whether or not he actually is subject to the fiduciary standard. You can ask him that. Look, if you want to reduce the fees, here's what you can do. You can say, forget about it. I don't need him. I'm just going to get a robo advisor. I'm going to go to one of the big houses like Vanguard or Schwab. I'm going to put our money there. Because of the amount of money you have, you'll get some financial advice. You can definitely do that. Vanguard Personal Service Advisor, Schwab Intelligent Portfolio. Those are two, and Betterment also has a good option. Now, you may not get a dedicated person. You might get a different person every time. Maybe that matters to you. Maybe it doesn't. You can check out Facet Wealth. They sponsor our radio show. They do financial planning. It's sort of a different kind of model. So it's not a percentage of assets under management. With them, you'll get a dedicated CFP. So you can check these things out. Now, let's say that you just want to stay with this dude because you like him. And you can say to him, we really like you, but you know what? We feel like we're paying a lot of money and we're not getting enough out of you. So you can say to him, what we want is we want an updated plan every year. And we would like to pay, we want to know if you have any negotiation room on the fee.
He put us in contact with the attorney. We did work with an attorney or firm to develop the special needs trust.
That's smart. So Mark jumped in and asked about whether there was an attorney involved with a special needs trust. I mean, look, you have a pretty straightforward retirement. Did you leave? We didn't leave anything out. You said you had a pension, but it was now, obviously it was cashed out. So is there any other pension in the future?
No, unfortunately, no.
I got to tell you something. I don't know how big that pension was, but that's a little bit of a red flag to me. The fact that he said, roll the pension over, depending on where it came from. Now, I'm going to say red flag. Let's say a yellow flag. It's like a pause. It's like, let me see. I don't want to throw this guy under the bus. I really don't. I just want you to understand that it's not clear to me that he made the very best decision, the one that was in your best interest, but I'm glad he did a little financial planning. But there are other options out there that are cheaper. Instead of paying 1% a year, you might be able to cut that in half. And cutting that in half means that money drops right down to your bottom line. And again, I don't want you to hear that like, oh, he's a bad person, he's ripping you. I don't know. If you want to just nose around a little bit, you want to shop around a little bit, that's worth pursuing. Even if you come back to this place where you say, we actually like this guy, and we want to stay, but you should stay understanding the circumstances and that perhaps you just want to get a financial plan, someone who has a more holistic approach to asset management and financial planning. Because I mean, look, asset management honestly is pretty no brainer. You can just put this like on autopilot. It will be fine. And the biggest change in your financial life is how much money you need to put to work. And you are going to put that $1,500 to work in a new brokerage account. But I really think you've got to feel more confident in the person you're working with. And maybe that confidence is built by simply looking elsewhere and maybe even coming back to this person. But it's worth having that conversation. Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else that's on your horizon that I should know about?
Oh gosh, no, I think that covers it, but I definitely appreciate your advice and feedback.
I really appreciate you taking the time to hang with us, and we wish you the best of luck. So follow up with us. Let us know what you find out, and we're happy to walk you through if you find out information and it's in conflict. Then don't worry, we're here for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
My pleasure. Okay, if you, like April, would like to join us, all you have to do is send an email, askjill@jillonmoney.com. Ask Jill at jillonmoney.com. Or if you're on the website, just hit the contact button. Don't forget to subscribe to us. If you're listening to this online, you can subscribe anywhere you get podcasts and turn your friends onto it. We'd love that. We just want to expand our audience one person at a time. Okay, wash your hands, wear your masks, maintain your physical distancing, and put your hands metaphorically on someone else's back. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.